Warning: the Savage Nation contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised. And now, America's most exciting radio talk show, The Savage Nation, home of unprotected talk, borders, language, culture. And here he is, Michael Savage.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Savage States of America.
All right, all be seated, please. All be seated. Thank you very much for coming to the real President of the Savage States of America. Well, here's my commentary on last night. Cruz shined, Trump chimed, Rubio whined, Kasich pined, Carson dined, Carly mimed, Paul signed, and Bush was blind. And that's the opening to the Savage Nation. Now, today is Veterans Day, and that's a very important holiday for those of us who know that we wouldn't be here living in freedom without all those who have given life and limb, in some cases freedom, so that we can enjoy the freedoms that we do enjoy in this nation. And looking back over the years, I want you to remember that I'm very happy that you helped veterans through this show. Do you remember Lieutenant Ilario Pantano, accused of premeditated murder by George Bush's administration when they said he killed 2 Iraqi captives during a unit mission near Fallujah, Iraq on April 15th, 2004? Do you remember what they did to Lieutenant Pantano, an Article 32 hearing? Do you remember how I conducted several interviews with Lieutenant Pantano and his family, raising awareness of his dire situation? And I helped fund Pantano's defense through my legal aid fund. Do you remember any of that? How about Army Ranger First Lieutenant Michael Behenna? Remember what happened to him? He was sentenced by the government to 25 years in prison. George Bush, again, 25 years in prison. They said he killed Ali Mansour, a known al-Qaeda operative, while serving in Iraq. Well, that's not what happened. After the family appealed to the Army's Clemency and Parole Board, Michael Behenna's sentence was again reduced to 15 years. Now, this is a war hero, and the man was serving it in Leavenworth under George Bush. So all of you Bushies who think this all started under Obama, wake up. He then applied for another clemency request, denied in December 2010. On February 12, 2014, another request for clemency was denied. But Behenna was granted parole and released on March 14, 2014, after serving less than 5 years of his sentence, and he was an American war hero. Look what they did to him. Well, what did you do? Savage and my audience rallied behind Lieutenant Behenna, and through private contributions from the Legal Aid Fund and listener contributions from the Savage Nation, $150,000 was given to the family to help with the appeals and defense. How about the latest thing that we did? The man whose dog was stolen from him by the military. Remember, we bought him a car? I sent him $18,000 in cash for a new truck. Well, we haven't heard from him since. We wish him well. We can't reach him. If you can remember any other veteran I have helped, or you have helped, or the Savage Nation has helped on this Savage Veterans Day, give us a call at 855-400-7282. Any vets who I've helped out there. I also have an announcement to make. As you know, I gave away $100,000 to 5 students last year, each of whom won $20,000 Savage Scholarship for writing an essay. Of the, thousands submitted, 5 were picked, the best ones. And if I continue this in 2016, with God's will, I'd like to do that. I made a decision on the car on the way in today. And that is the new scholarship fund will only be open to the children of active military or the children of active police in the United States of America. That's because blue lives matter and the lives on the line matter. And I want to reward their children. They are the ones on the line, and that's what I'm going to do if we get around to that Savage Scholarship Fund in 2016. Now, having opened the show on the Savage Nation, I want to invite you again to give us a ring at 855-400-SAVAGE. And I want to tell you what my day has been like thus far, because if I tell it to you, you're going to say he made this up. It's all show. It's a shtick. Are you ready for this? As you well know, I broadcast from several different home studios. I have several of them in one county near San Francisco, and I never leave one of them. I'm just stuck to the chair. I have another one in San Francisco in an apartment. I never go to it. I have another one in L.A. I have another one in Florida. Never go to them, right? So today, I had to leave the one I never leave because there was some work being done in my house. I was ready to go to the next studio. My assistant comes running and says, no, you can't go, Dr. Savage. I said, why? He said, they're trimming trees right under your window in the next house. I said, oh, darn, let's go to the other one. He said, no. PG&E is jackhammering the streets at the other one. You can't go there. I said, then God is speaking to me. He doesn't want me in the air today. He said, no, let's go to the city. You haven't used that city studio forever. We race into the city. I get here 2 hours before the show. I walk down to the waterfront, dodging the bums and the bicycles and the skateboards and the things. And I buy my bread. I like a bread. I buy a bread at the Acme Bakery down by the water. It's an onion bread. I get a chocolate croissant, figuring it's a tough day. I'll eat some garbage. I'll have everything I never eat. I come back, God is my witness. I come back to my apartment studio, and a jackhammer is working in the apartment next door. I'm not making this up. Apparently a pipe broke. They were jackhammering. So with 15 minutes to go before the show, I call the good people here at KSFO at the Cumulus headquarters in San Francisco, and they made the studio available to me. And I'll tell you the truth, it's beautiful to be here. So if God was saying to me, hey, Mike, take a breather, don't go on the air today, I guess I didn't listen to him because I'm on the air today. The phone number is 855-407-2882. Let's go to line number one. Chris, WABC. Chris, what's on your mind?
Yeah, you mentioned somebody who might have helped. Wasn't there a veteran who called almost on the verge of suicide that you basically talked out of and raised money for? I'm pretty sure he was a veteran.
I don't think he was a veteran. I think he was a guy who was going to commit suicide. He was on the Marine, remember? I'm a little confused right now. The croissant is going to my brain. There was a guy calling saying he was in a car with a loaded gun, and he was at the end of his road, and he couldn't go on, and we raised money for him. Yes, but I don't know about his veteran status, you know.
Okay.
All right, Chris, I'm sending you a copy of what? If you name it, you gain it. What's the book?
Government Zero.
Thank God. Yeah, you hesitated. Okay, but you get it anyway. Stay on the line. Again, the lines are open at 855-400-SAVAGE. I'm in a radio studio, so I'm much happier. You know, the last time I was in a live radio studio was in New York City at WABC. Remember that, Ryan? I'm much happier in radio studios. It's a different universe. It's much better. You know, you say, oh, man, you're lucky you broadcast out of your house. Well, there's the refrigerator. There's the bathroom, right? There's the dog sleeping on the sofa. But there's nothing like a real radio station. I think I'm going to come in here much more often because it's also near the Greasy Spoon Chinese restaurant that I love. And I'm looking forward to that the minute I get off the air. I got something to look forward to tonight as well. I'm going to the gun range tonight to requalify for my permit. I have to do that every 2 years, and got to get the old Magnum ready. Actually, it's not a Magnum; it's a 357 Magnolite and a 380. I forget the name. I don't play with the gun. I never use them. You know, I don't know. But usually I go there and I'm like Annie Oakley, you know, like I hit the target, do it again, take the other, and then you go through all of the things. I mean, you know, it's wonderful. And that'll be another day. And then night comes and God looks over us at night. God rules over the night. God rules over the day. And the next day comes. I think I know what happened today. I think that I challenged God yesterday on the show. And I think that the Jewish God in heaven was really mad at me. I really think that he got mad at me for something. And I just said to him, hey, Jewish God, who is the God over all of us since there's only one God, I said, I'm sorry. Can we make up? And I mean, I hope that's what it's about. What do I know? I don't know. We don't know how these things work. Why would 4 studios go down in one day? I have a 21-year career in radio. Am I right? I've never had 4 studios go down in one day. Ask anyone who knows me. Every one of them was built as a backup for the other one. You talk about a contingency plan. I have 4 of them. People would say, why do you pay for all of those studios? Why do you keep all those studios running? I said, I need redundancy. I have like 4 redundant studios. They can all work, and none of them worked. Go explain that to me. So here I am. Buck, line number 8. Welcome to the program. What's on your mind, Buck?
Uncle Savage, this is Buck in the San Joaquin Valley. My father was a B-17 pilot, 26 missions over Germany, and he was a charter listener to the Savage Nation. We both started together, And you brought him such a great deal of comfort because you're really the only one that spoke up for him and his comrades. And we just can't thank you enough. You know, he was always, what Savage did.
Look, I hear the emotion in your voice, and I don't want you to push it. Because when you lose a father, there's nothing like that in the world. I mean, the bond between a father and a son, when it's good, there's nothing, you know, I mean, with mother, obviously, and a son is the same, but your father was a war hero on top of it all, and you had a shared experience in listening to a radio program that you both enjoyed, and I guess that was a bond with me in that way, right?
It is, Michael Savage, and my father's story is on your website. We have planned this for many years going back. It's on your website, michaelsavage.me, and this is a gift to you, that domain. And my father's story is there, and I can't hold on any longer. I hope you can look at it, and we'll get in contact. Well,
okay, Buck, you stay on the line and give us your address. We're sending you Government Zero, and hang in there, my friend. It's the heroes like your father who made America great, and let the vermin on the left. I can't finish the sentence because I'm on the radio, but if I were having a beer with you, I'd smash a glass on the counter to tell you what I think of what should be done. You take care, my friend. Stay on the line. Won't even finish the sentence. It's only 17 minutes after the hour. I'm flying high on a coffee and a chocolate croissant, and I'll be right back.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
Hey, our Savage Nation is sponsored by SwissAmerica.com, the only company I trust for wealth insurance, gold and silver. Call 800-BUICOI. Hey, welcome back to the Savage Nation. We're celebrating our veterans today. And a gentleman called in the last segment about his dad, a great war hero, and he sent me a link which we're putting up on michaelsavage.com. You know, it's worth reading something from the local newspaper about this amazing story. Over Frank Bud Dickman's antique desk in the living room of his East Louise house is a frame with his war medals. It's an ordinary-looking wooden frame, but if you take a closer look, it's not an ordinary frame. Inside it are air medals and the Distinguished Flying Cross, that's the DFC, with 4 oak leaf clusters he earned flying over Germany in B-17s during World War II. You want to listen to what it's like? All of you cry about being uncomfortable on campuses and being uncomfortable because someone said something to you, you worthless people, you. Here, this is the real world, the world that I hope you never have to face. And here is what he faced, a real man. I remember the morning that my bombing group got orders to bomb Germany, said Dickman, at then age 70, with the 94th Bomber Group attached to the 8th Air Force in England. On mission mornings, we would get up to the sounds of a GI truck coming around 4 a.m. and go to breakfast. Oh, I can't get up. I haven't taken my medication. Can I call a therapist? We were fed good because it was important to keep our strength up for 6 to 8 hour bombing raids. Uh-oh, call the ACLU. 6 to 8 hour bombing raid? That's against their rights. After breakfast, we would go to a 6 a.m. briefing. The doors would be closed because of secrecy. Then the officers would pull a canvas off the mission chart. Then we were told we were going over Berlin. You could hear a pin drop. By then, Lieutenant Dickman had flew many missions. He had become tough. He saw Americans collide head on. He would watch a buddy go down in flames. Atop his pilot's seat, he would watch bombers explode. We lost 8 B-17s that day trying to go over Berlin, said Dickman, who retired after 30 years with Southern Pacific. We had to fly 26,000 to 30,000 feet because of dense clouds. We had to eventually abort the mission, but some bomber formations weren't made aware of it, and they collided head-on with planes heading for home. Guess that didn't make it to your American hate history book, huh? Dickman said he broke out of formation for safety's sake. His flying fortress would fly home 50 feet over water so they wouldn't suffer the same fate. A lot of times we would return to an empty barrack, said Dickman, who flew 26 bombing missions overall. At times, we were the only crew in the barracks out of 6. You become tough and calloused. I didn't let things like that bother me. I guess it was because we didn't get to see the blood. Well, there's more stories like that. And I ask you, can we ever win a war again?